Well, hey there folks, and welcome back once again to the Hop House. If you have just found us randomly on YouTube, do me a favour, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, share and a subscribe to this channel. It's the Hop House. We love hoppy beer and we love good house music. Yes, we do. We're on the beer tip right now, but tonight, 7 PM UK time, right here on this channel, we're going to do a live DJ stream. We're going to play some good house music, get yourself up, have a bit of a boogie, bit of a smile on your face. I know it's a Thursday, so some people still working. If you haven't got work tomorrow, then why not get a beer yourself out the fridge, pop it open, stick it in a glass and join us. Why not? So, we are looking at beer reviews. We are looking at game changers. Yes, we are. So, we've done a couple of videos already on game changers. So, we looked at personal game changer, which was the Badger Brewery Hopping Hare. Fantastic beer. Then we upped the ante a bit and we went on to Oakham Citra, which was the first original Citra hopped beer that made it to the UK. If you didn't see that video, go check it out. Having the Hopping Hare followed by the Citra just blew my mind. My taste buds are still going, ooh, what's going on? What's going on? But we're still on game changers. And I think it's time to up the ante that little bit more. Just a little bit more. So, what are we going to look at now? We are going to look at a beer that revolutionised IPAs. India Pale Ales. So we discussed before about India Pale Ales, that they were super hopped, super strength, so that it could be shipped out from the UK to India for the troops over there. But then American IPAs sort of evolved and came about, and it put those pungent, hoppy, bitter hops into the original IPA, and it made it something rather special. So the beer we're going to look at now, it predated Oakham Citra. Oakham Citra, we said the bloke there went over to America in 2009 and discovered the Citra hop. The beer we're going to look at today is from 2005, so it predates Citra. Doesn't have Citra hop in it, because the Oakham Citra was the first one that had Citra hop in it, but it predates it. So what are we looking at? We are looking at this bad boy. This is Jaipur from Thornbridge Brewery. This is revolutionary. This was a game changer on so many levels for India Pale Ale IPAs in this country. So you had IPAs. You maybe had the odd one or two that maybe contained Cascade, American hop. But this has won so many awards. It's had so many accolades throughout the time, and it put Thornbridge Brewery on the map. Now, Thornbridge Brewery are based in Bakewell in Derbyshire, middle of the Peak District. And believe they started out as a little brewery, brewing in Thornbridge Hall or Thornbridge House. And this was one of their flagship beers. It still is today. They started 2005 and now 2020. 15 years later, and this is still their flagship beer. Crazy. Now, they've done all sorts of wonderful things as well. They don't just brew IPAs, they brew sort of salted caramel stouts and porters and sours and all different types of beers. And if you want to say, look at this. This is in a 330 milliliter bottle. So straight away, you're thinking it's more craft beer. It's more independent. It's in a smaller bottle for one. So this is available at a lot of supermarkets, 4 for £6. But then you think, well, hang on a minute, you're getting the 500 milliliter bottles like we drunk with the Citra and, well, all the other beers, 500 millilitres, also 4 for £6. So why should I pay less for a smaller beer? For less content, if you like, less volume? Well, we're going to find that out, aren't we? So, I'm going to open it up and get it in the glass. We are going to put it into the purity glass, because that's the glass I've been using so far today. Now, oh, sorry, I'll stand back a bit. It's not going to fill the glass, obviously, because it's only 330 millilitres compared to the 500 ml. So what do we know about Jaipur? It is an India Pale Ale, hence the Jaipur name. It's also 5.9%. Yeah, let that sink in a minute. 5.9% on the ABV. So we've been drinking 4%, 4.5% or just above with it, Oakham Citra. This is stronger. This is a bad boy. This is an IPA. Green King, take note. Right, what's it look like then? So I'm just going to give it a bit of a whirl. It's been in the fridge, it's been out of the fridge probably only about 10 minutes or so. So my bad that it's not been out of the fridge for longer. I apologise. There you go. It is. You could be mistaken for thinking that that was either Oakham Citra or the Hopping Hare. It really is a light sort of golden, honey coloured, maybe even a bit lighter. The other two beers. It's very transparent, very see-through. It's got a bit of a white head on it. I do have to keep whirling it around to keep that head. It's good though. Look at the way it looks in the glass. It's got decent lace into it. Sticking to the glass, as me granddad used to say. No good beer if it sticks to the side of the glass. Lacing. Yeah, it's doing that well. All right. It looks cracking. Not gonna lie. Other IPAs I've had before, when we reviewed the Spitfire, it's more of a darker sort of mahogany, amber, chestnutty sort of. It's darker than this. I would not expect this to be an IPA. I'd expect it to be like a session IPA, golden ale, something like that. So primarily I wouldn't expect it to look like that if it was an India Pale Ale. I think we should see what it smells like. Don't you? I think we should give it a whiff and see what we can sniff. I'll tell you what. You know what I was saying on the previous video? If not, please watch. Oakham Citra. Upped it a bit. This. Another roll up the ladder. So what kind of smell? It's building on what I smelled before. It's hoppy. It is hoppy. Citrusy. Grapefruit. Getting a bit of lime on this. I can't believe I'm saying these words. I think if you tune into the early videos, I sort of said, when I was growing up as a kid, I used to get like bad colds in the winter, hay fever in the summer, and my sense of smell has probably only ever worked about 70% of the time. Well, at 70% strength, should we say. Hence, I used to breathe out my mouth a lot, and still do today, and probably snore if you ask my missus. So, I'm really surprised I'm actually getting as much from this beer, aroma-wise, as I am. My taste buds are on overdrive. I can already feel the saliva moving around my mouth. As bizarre as that may sound, if you're just tuning in and you're new to beer, that's what hops does to you. These kind of hops, New World, American, New Zealand, Australian hops, they get your taste buds raging. Really do. And I'm gonna give it a taste. I've swirled it around, I've given it a whiff, I've sniffed it, I've smelled loads of hop aroma, loads of grapefruit, bit of lemony, limey. Right, so time to taste it. Bottoms up and down the hatchet. Oh, oh, oh. Again, I'm sorry about the sound. I'm sorry, not sorry. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I have had this beer before, as I've had the Oakham Citra and as I've had the Hopping Air. Never had the 3 in a row. I did say, what you drink depends on what you drunk before, and it has an effect. And it's just like wine and cheese. If you pick a strong cheese and a port, it's really going to complement it. And I'll be honest with you now, because at the end of the day, I'm not a beer expert. I've never brewed a beer in my life. I had a go with one of those little home kits you got from Lidl, failed miserably. So, I'm not a brewing expert, don't work in the industry, don't really know that much about beer, apart from I really like the taste of it. I really like the taste of this. The Oakham Citra surprised me. It wowed the bejesus out of me. After having it after the Hopping Air. Still really good anyway, but as I said on the previous video, don't ever have it as a first beer, because it's so pungent, it's so bitter, you won't taste anything else. However, if you were to walk in a pub on the old Hampold, on the cask ales, and you saw Oakham Citra at 4.2%, and then a bit further down the line they had the Thornbridge Jaipur at 5.9%, then in that case I would say, you know what, have a pint or two of Citra, and then try this. Upped the ante. I now feel like I'm playing World Series of Poker and I'm all in. This is sensational. Absolutely sensational. I'm kind of gutted it's only a 330ml bottle. I really want more of it. I really, really, really do. It is just wow. I have had this before. In fact, this was recommended. There's a buddy of mine, local pub. I'm not going to name the pub at this point in my YouTube venture, but there's a local pub of mine, really old pub, this, that, and the other, and there's a fellow that goes in there, and he was sort of guiding me along the way in terms of the bitter, hoppy American New World hops, because he doesn't like sweet, he doesn't have sugar in coffee or tea or anything, he doesn't like puddings, desserts, whatever you want to call it. He does not have a sweet tooth whatsoever. He lived in New Zealand for a few years, then he's come back to the UK. He put me onto this. He said, have you ever tried Thornbridge Jaipur? And I went, no, I don't think I have. And then funnily enough, we went in there, I saw him in there about a month later, and he had this bad boy on cask. And he was like, oh, the Jaipur's on. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Obviously, with it being it's 5.9%. Let me get that through to you. It's not a weak beer. Maybe that's why it's only in a 330ml bottle. I'm sure it used to be in a bigger one. I know it's available also in a can. Tastes better out of a bottle though, in my opinion. Tried it out of the can and I wasn't impressed. But you can get bad batches of cans. Anyway, coming back to this story, we were in the pub. So it wasn't the first beer I tried, right? It's 5.9%. I had a pint of this, a pint of that, and da-da-da. Worked my way up to it. It's probably, well, maybe I had about 3 or 4 pints and it was the last one. I think I had a second one of it. And then I went outside and I bobbled about a bit because I was a bit like, ooh, hello. It is phenomenal. It doesn't taste hefty. The strength is there because the hops are there. The flavour is certainly there. But it's not. Sometimes you get some beers that are really strong and they can taste like a barley wine. They can taste really sort of whiskey, spirity, strengthy. Okay, this is not that strength, it's 5.9%. But still, you couldn't have a session on this unless you were some sort of madman that has a super powerful liver or something. You can only have maybe a pint or two of it. But it would be worth it. Okay, so Jaipur, I'm not sure what they've got on the bottle anymore because they changed this. It used to have, I think originally it used to have a picture of like an Indian lady on it, and then they just changed it, and now they've changed it again to just purely that orange plain label Jaipur. I'm just gonna go over here and see if I can read something. So sorry, I'm going out of camera because I'm just trying to read this, and as you can see, the writing's quite small and this lighting is pretty bad. Actually, let me go over here. See if I can get it. All I'm trying to tell you is what hops are in the beer. I know there's about 6 of them. There's a lot of hops in this beer. Stand by. I can't make it out. I really can't. I believe it's something like Cascade, Simcoe. There's a bizarrely named hop with an A, like a Huntum. There's about 5 or 6 hops in it. But it's cracking. Honestly, this is a game changer. I can see why it was a game changer. So 2005 it came out, as we said. It's won bucket loads of awards. It's probably one of the most awarded beers in Britain. And it put Thornbridge Brewery on the map. So much so they had to upscale. They've now got their own sort of proper brewing site, not in Thornbridge Hall or House or wherever it was originally. It's great. So for me, it gets 2 massive thumbs up. Look, they're going up and down. They absolutely love that. Yeah, Thornbridge. Check them out. They have some great beer. Thornbridge Brewery. Go on the website, have a look. They do some cracking New England IPAs. They do some cracking porters and session beer. I had a beer from one of their bars, because they have a few bars. So if you're anywhere near Leeds, they have one called the Banker's Cap, which is quite new. They have the Cornwall in Birmingham, the one I went to. I think they have one in Sheffield as well. I could be wrong. But they had one called Peach, which was a peach IPA. I don't like peach. Peach Melba, peach yogurt, not for me. But it's Thornbridge. So I thought, you know what, give it a try. And it was we were out with some people from my beer group, the Witchell Goblins. Hi. And it was the best beer that I had the whole day. It really shot the pants off me. But this is the original. This is what you owe it all to. Thornbridge Brewery, Jaipur, 2 thumbs up. It's sensational. 5.9%. Go get some. It's available in all supermarkets in bottle and can. It's cracking. See you on the next one.